Given that I look like Alpha Omega Sin these days, I guess there's no harm in stealing its format and seeing how it works. Plus, you can all see now how fat I've gotten on antidepressants and apathy. But I want to talk about something a bit different for me today. I'm not normally one for YouTube drama or high emotion or anything. I know I've made a few videos where I crack a bit, and there's some of my best performing videos that have gotten the best responses, but I prefer to be this kind of cold, hard automaton much of the time, and the pills kind of help with that because they very much dull your emotions. But there are things that do get to me when people's pets die, for example, and they make videos about how upset they are. Yeah, I think about how I'm gonna feel when one of my cats dies, and that triggers me off because they are like part of the family, and one of my cats literally saved my life. Not just by being around either, you know, not just by being a source of affection or whatever. So that thought just kind of it breaks me. So when Tamimi's cat died, that gutted me. When Siren's cat died, that gutted me. The other thing is just seeing people as being heartbroken. This whole intellectualism and distance and thing, it's not just the drugs, and it's not just a philosophical outlet as a skeptic or a cynic or whatever. It's a defense mechanism, because a large part of the reason that my mental problems are so bad is that I actually empathize a huge amount with people, probably too much, and when something bad happens to someone else, I feel it. My own emotions run very high, so the reason I'm so Vulcan is kind of a coping mechanism for all that. But occasionally something breaks through, and seeing how heartbroken Jacyln Glenn is over this breakup with this latest boyfriend of hers really hit me for some reason. I don't really know why, but it did. You know, I've been far from the perfect boyfriend or husband, I guess, but I've never been the one that has broken up with someone or has really done anything. It's always been the other way around. So I guess I see myself in the same position as Jaclyn, as finding out that something horrible has happened, and then not being able to see the person in the same way. But Jaclyn, putting out that you don't owe anybody your pain, even if you live publicly. You don't have your audience, us, we don't have any right to your agony, your pain, and your upset, you know? Jaclyn is, or Jaclyn, however it is pronounced, I never get it right. She is a lovely, brilliant woman. Ambitious, driven, competent. She's owned up to her mistakes and failings in the past, and I have a huge amount of respect for her, and I've followed her for a very long time. There's some of her decisions I don't necessarily agree with.
No?
But that doesn't matter. You know, she deserves better. She seems to have terrible taste in men for whatever reason. I don't know why. But you will come back from this, Jaclyn. You will. You never completely lose the heartbreak and the scars from things that have happened to you. Well, if I stop and I sit and I think about it, every breakup, every wrong that was done to me, you know, it all comes back. At least you found out sooner, and you're not going to go back to this guy, are you? See, I made the mistake of going back to someone who treated me badly on no less than 3 separate occasions. You know, breakups are horrible. At least you haven't been out in the street like I was once, howling at the sky, giving it the full no, no. That's bad. At least you haven't tried to kill yourself, you know? Depression and breakups aren't a very good mix either. I was dumped once on my birthday when I was 15, and the girlfriend at the time was 15, because she wanted to go off and bang a 30-year-old lawyer. Or then there was the time I was dumped on the girl's birthday at the beginning of a night out at a club in London. So I spent the entire time miserable and then having to go back in the same, was it car or bus, with her at the end of the night. You know, that was horrible. I spent the whole evening crying in a corner, being comforted by a Portuguese exchange student who barely had any English. That was a great night. Or there's the time, the girl I was with at the time, we went out to a rock night again, beginning of the evening, after I paid my entrance fee. Oh, I want to split up with you. And then she went home with the drummer from the band. Not even the guitarist, not even the vocalist. She went home with the fucking drummer. Breakups are shit. And you don't owe anyone else your pain. You don't. You're a lovely, smart girl. Anyone would be lucky to be with you. You will be fine eventually. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know you thought this guy was the one or whatever, but it's a good thing you found out that he isn't. Now, I don't like making videos like this on subjects like this without expanding it, and so I want to expand this. So here's the thing, I don't know Jaclyn. I just follow Jaclyn on YouTube and on Twitter, and occasionally chime into a conversation. You know, I appreciate a lot of her work. Someone I like to watch in the skeptic community. She's not just a pretty face, like a lot of people maybe are, kind of exploiting YouTube and various dramas and communities and so on. Here's a pretty girl saying exactly what I like to say, but I think Jaclyn's more than that. But even so, there's this weird thing we have where you get this this connection with people on social media and YouTube that feels stronger than it is. I mean, what fucking business have I got chiming in on Jaclyn Glenn's relationship problems? You know, these people aren't my friends. You know, I follow Sargon's Trials and Tribulations, and he only lives down the road in Swindon. But I don't know him, he's not my mate. We don't hang out and have drinks or whatever, but I feel close to him. And Jeff Hollandaise and Memory, I feel really weirdly close to them. I think I feel a kind of kinship with them and see stuff in them that I wish my life was like sometimes. And I feel weirdly close to them, but they don't know me, I don't know them. Yeah, I've sent them stuff to their PO box. What? I don't know them, they're not my friends. It's just weird that we end up getting these connections to people we don't really know. It's a phenomenon I've never gotten with TV in the same way that some people connect with soap opera characters or their favourite character in a series, and they feel what they feel and they go through their tribulations and they mix up the person and the character. I've never had that, but there's something different about YouTube, meeting people, knowing people through social media that creates a connection in me, and I find it weird. I have no reason to chime in on this other than it touched and affected me, and I draw these parallels. I'm not close to any of these people. Most of them have never talked to me for any length of time, or they wouldn't recognise me in the street or whatever. It's just odd, isn't it? And yet I do feel that connection, and that's part of the reason I started doing YouTubing, videos, vlogs, and a lot less writing and blogging and all the rest, because of that connection. You know, I want to be understood, and I get fucking mad when I'm not understood. And this feels like you have a better connection with people when you use this. It feels like, you see my body language, my facial expressions and so on. It's harder to be misunderstood. In many ways, it's a superior way of communicating. But the drawback, I think, is this personal, emotional connectivity that comes into it as well. I'm not really sure how to deal with it. So some housekeeping stuff, I guess. I've started a Discord server which covers my gaming, writing, discussion, YouTube, Patreon, all that stuff. I'll pop a link below. I'm not massively publicising it at the moment because I'm still working my way around Discord and don't really know how it all works yet. So there's that. The Dark Cell Scholarship is running, and as usual it's a massive uphill struggle to get anyone to help. So if you can donate to that, that would be hugely fantastic. If you're an artist or you know an artist who could donate some art to be sold to support that, that would also be great. I am away from Thursday through to Tuesday, I think, at AwesomeCon, which isn't actually a convention, it's just a bunch of mates get together to roleplay and stuff and pull one out for the demise of the once brilliant and now gone IndieCon, so you probably won't get videos those days. Which means that the whole Choose Your Own Adventure videos thing, that's probably going to start next week. I think that's everything. I need to go and finish writing up adventures and stuff for the convention. Zang.
Gentlemen, time please, you know we can't serve anymore. Now the traffic lights change to stop when there's nothing to go. And by 5 o'clock everything's dead, and every third car is a cab.